Hey y'all, Irix Guy here. Welcome back to another Timepieces for Tomorrow video. Now today on the wrist, I've got the Panerai PAM112, the PAM00112. And I want to talk about this particular timepiece, why it's significant, why I purchased it in, I think it was 2016. But without further ado, let's go ahead and flip over to my other little camera here so we can see this up close here. So again, had this PAM for a few years, worn it religiously. I put it on a different strap. That's one of the cool things about Panerai that we're going to talk about here in a minute, is that you can, well, that's what makes them so cool, is that there's so many straps available, both first party and aftermarket. And this particular reference, the PAM112, you see it uses a screw there and a screw there. So you just use a little bitty tiny wristwatch screwdriver, and you can easily, effortlessly swap the straps. Now this one, of course, I don't swim with it. This is a sailcloth type strap. Also, mine came on the what do they call it? I forget the term, but it's the buckle that's kind of got a weird shape to it, which trapezoid or something like that, which I greatly prefer this style buckle. So I put a different buckle on this strap. You know, by default, it came with the black leather and the black rubber strap, and just been a really good timepiece. You know, one of the things about PAM, and this particular reference, PAM112, you really see the dimensional elements in the dial. They call it the sandwich, and you can see where the lume is in there, but if you look at it, and again, this is 4K, so crank it up, but you can see how it's got a dimensional effect. This particular timepiece, and something that a lot of people may not like, but a lot of collectors may desire, what attracted me to this particular Panerai reference is just how clean it is. It's got a very symmetrical dial. You know, there's no date. There's not even a sweeping. There's not even a sweeping seconds hand, and it's not even an automatic wristwatch. This is a manual wind wristwatch. So to wind it, you got to pop your, you got to pop the little. This is Panerai, one of their trademark things for their crown guard, which is really cool. And then you can wind it. Never wind it on your wrist, and I can't wind it anymore because I've already fully wound it. But you know, very nice execution. The tactile feel while winding is very nice. The case, although by today's standards, today being 2022. Is currently kind of perceived as a little bit on the larger side, not too big, but on the larger side. This timepiece, for its case size, wears, in my opinion, it wears exceptionally well. And you know, that's something that you're probably not going to find with a lot of larger wristwatches. But again, 44 millimeters is not too big in my opinion. I've got a 7.5-inch wrist. You know, it still wears larger than my Rolexes. You know, the Submariner and the Oyster Perpetual and, you know, GMT and that sort of stuff. But it's, you know, it's a very, it's a, for what it is, the Italian frogmen, you know, they made Panerai famous. And this is a tool watch as exhibited by all the scratches on the bezel. I purchased this brand new from an authorized dealer in Phillipsburg, St. Martin. A very, very good place, very good people. I think it was called Art of Time. I think it's the name of the AD, the authorized dealer. But when you look at this in different lighting conditions, the dial really is magnificent. This is something that you don't see. You don't see these details. You don't see these dimensional elements on a lot of other timepieces. And one thing that nobody, or I don't think anybody could argue about Panerai, is that Panerai, especially the Panerai Luminor, has its own unique identity. When you see a PAM, and they call them, it's Panerai, but they call them PAM, and that was confusing at first. Why is it not Pan? But they just name their references, you know, in the watch world, a reference is a model, so they name their references PAM, as in Mary. But it's spelled Panerai, Panerai. So, you know, just something interesting to be aware of. Now, what really attracted me to this particular timepiece is the exhibition case back. So, you know, here you've got an exhibition case back that is really cool. You can see the movement. Obviously, it's not a super decorated movement. I mean, this is a tool watch, but the fact that you get an exhibition case back on it, in my opinion, I like the exhibition case back over some of the other references that feature a sweeping seconds hand. You know, I don't really care. If I want a sweeping seconds hand, you know, I'll stick to my Tudor, my Rolex, some other wristwatches. But for this, for what it is, the cool factor is that it's, you know, it's manual wind. It's a very symmetrical dial because it doesn't have a date complication. It doesn't have a small seconds or, you know, any sort of seconds hand. It's just very clean, very basic with magnificent lume. The lume on this is absolutely incredible, and that's one of the coolest elements about it. Check out my other video where I show you the Panerai's lume. It's very very good. Although I'll say this particular timepiece and Ulysses Nardin Maxi Marine Diver, the lume on those, they go neck and neck, and they trump the lume on the Submariner in my opinion, which the Submariner has very good lume. But these things are exceptional. A few things that I would say, and this isn't less than positive, you've got to look at this wristwatch for what it is. This wristwatch is a tool watch. You know, something you're going to swim with. You're going to bang it into walls. See all those scratches around the bezel? Unlike a Rolex Submariner that has a current reference Rolex Submariner that has a ceramic bezel, this does not have it's got a bezel, but it's just stainless steel, so you can see scratches, dents, imperfections. I mean, a lot of them just from wearing it. And I think that gives this Panerai character. I think, you know, a lot of people that may purchase a Panerai and they're like, man, that's a scratch magnet. It's not a scratch magnet like a dress watch. It's a scratch magnet because it wants to be shown, it wants to show itself off as if it's been worn. And that's why it gets all these scratches. So if scratches bother you, you know, you're going to, if you're just wanting a one and done wristwatch, you may want to stray away from Panerai because these scratches on the bezel, as you can see here, and again, I got this in 2016. It's 2022 at the time of filming this, but those scratches may bother you. And I completely understand. Every collector is different. And not everyone is a collector. You know, some people, they're one and done, and that's perfectly acceptable. But the ability to swap the straps, again, this is a sailcloth. This strap, actually, I got it on the secondary market. Again, this PAM came with a black rubber strap, and it came with a black leather strap, and it came with a trapezoid or trapezoidal or whatever they call it buckle. So I put this buckle on this. I change straps quite often. I've got some that are brown. I've got some that are black. You know, I've got the two Panerai straps that came with the actual timepiece in the box. But I find that I wear more straps that I purchased after the purchase of the Panerai than the strap and, you know, the rubber and leather strap that came with it. But it's just a very well executed tool watch. I'm going to put it back on the wrist so you can see here. Again, 7.5 inch wrist. But again, by today's standards, 2022, and trends change. You know, big was big. I mean, big was popular in the 2000s. It was definitely popular. But today, by today's standards, 44 millimeters is kind of pushing the larger size. But I mean, still, it wears well. It's definitely got a commanding wrist presence. But the overall aesthetic of it, you know, being a tool watch, having that crown guard on the Luminor, I mean, there's no doubt that, you know, you're wearing a Panerai. You know, you're wearing a Luminor. For anybody that knows wristwatches, they're going to know, okay, that's a Panerai, and this is unlike any other wristwatch on the market from a visual perspective. So they've done a lot of things right, and you know, it's one of those things you can wear. Again, if I want to go swimming, I put it on the rubber strap, as our pontiff Archibald Chesterfield III might say, rubber strap. If you haven't checked out Archie Luxury, check out youtube.com/Archie Luxury. He's the most knowledgeable wristwatch personality in the entire universe. With that being said, the Panerai, I think there's plenty of room for the PAM in today's world, 2022, the year of 2022. I think it's perfectly acceptable. If you are a PAM Paneristi or whatever you call it, you know, the addicted to Panerai, and someone that back in the 2000s, early 2000s, they went all in on Panerai. Some of those people probably don't like Panerai right now if they were doing it for potential investment purposes, because PAM has plummeted. But the core reference, more base model Panerai like this one, the PAM112 or the PAM111, ones that are now discontinued that have proper water resistance. That's something I didn't mention earlier. 300 meters or 1,000 feet. A tool watch, wear anywhere, with a unique identity where people see it. It's not like, oh, dude, is that a Rolex? You know, it's not that type of watch. And if somebody asks that, they don't know squat about wristwatches. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's at a different level in the wristwatch obsession. But this wristwatch definitely has a unique personality. It's definitely got commanding wrist presence. And I think at 44 millimeters, this particular piece, this is something that, you know, that I feel will always be relevant. You know, I don't care if the trend is small watch. I don't care if it's large watch. I wear what I like to wear. I like quality. I like something I can swim with. I like something I can bang into walls. You know, I want something that's able to hold up. You know, quality is important. And this PAM112 is definitely a quality timepiece. Now, admittedly, some of the newer Panerai references, and we'll attack that within upcoming Timepieces for Tomorrow videos, but some of the newer Panerai references, they lack proper water resistance, in my opinion. They've kind of gone more to a fashion watch formula. Actually, this shirt that I've got on, and it's funny, I'm wearing it with my Panerai. This is a Peter Millar shirt, and you probably didn't know, but you may have known if you're a you know, wristwatch person. Richemont owns both Peter Millar Clothing Company, you know, good golf clothes. I only buy these shirts, man, when they're on sale, deep discounts in the holidays. I never buy anything at retail. But Richemont also owns Panerai, Jaeger-LeCoultre, IWC, Vacheron Constantin, and a few other brands. So, you know, there's a lot of brands within the Richemont portfolio. But it's a respectable timepiece. It is a tool watch. It's something you can wear. I wouldn't wear this with a suit. I would wear my Jaeger-LeCoultre. But it's definitely an acceptable wear anywhere timepiece, whether it's the pool, the beach, the hot tub, you know, just going out with drinking buddies or whatever. I mean, this is an appropriate timepiece. Some of the Panerais are much larger. I feel that 44 millimeters is still acceptable. I do not feel with this PAM112 like I have a hockey puck on my wrist. And that's what people will often say about some of the larger 47 millimeters. And actually some people with smaller wrist, if they put on a PAM112, they may not be able to pull it off. So again, it's a matter of personal comfort preference. It's a matter of personal style preference. It's a matter of your wrist size. It's a matter of a lot of things. But I think that Panerai, especially the base models like this, the PAM112, very good timepieces. And again, they can be very cool because as you can see, I got this strap and buckle that I put on. This was not from the authorized dealer. I just got it on the gray market. But you can really change the look and the feel of the Panerai on your wrist. So tell me what you think within the comment section below. Be sure to check out Timepieces for Tomorrow merchandise. I usually wear my Timepieces for Tomorrow merch. Tonight I didn't, just because I'm wearing my Peter Millar shirt that's also Richemont. I figured that it would be appropriate to wear Richemont branded clothing with Richemont branded wristwatch. So anyway, tell me what y'all think. And ask any questions you may have below. Future video ideas, comment below, and I'll try to whip them up. Thank you all for your support, and look forward to filming many more Timepieces for Tomorrow videos soon. If you got a wristwatch collection that you'd like for me to review, send me an email, and I'll post that up right after this. Subscribe, ring that bell icon when you do, and that'll notify you whenever I post another video. Y'all have a good day. Thanks again for watching this video, and want to remind everyone, be sure to subscribe and ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. And if you've got a wristwatch or a wristwatch collection that you'd like for me to try to review within an upcoming video, send me an email, review at timepiecesfortomorrow.com. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.